Welcome to another episode. I think this is my second one, so it's good to be here. I've been a silent backer in the background. What is that called? A private or a silent partner, something like that. So
yeah,
it's good to be back.
AKA useless.
Oh shit, God. First attacking my whiteness. Now this. Continue.
I mean, you know how capitalism is. The people that
that's true.
that profit the most do none of the work. Yeah,
I'm
you know what I mean.
The American dream, building my channel off a black man and not doing anything.
Yo. So it's been a long running joke that Captain Paul is a mythical. I don't know how would we say a leprechaun of sorts.
I mean, it's kind of racist, but I guess.
It blinds the first thing he says. Oh man, you're getting the roast into your life today.
Oh,
know it's coming.
I know. Shit. But it's good to be back. It's good to actually be back into this and get into a groove.
So, when people are saying, oh, being obese, they want to change the meaning of words. They want to change, because it's that feel good. It's bullshit. It's nonsense because you don't feel good. You don't feel good when you look in the mirror. You don't feel good in your body. You feel sluggish.
Yeah. Well, and I'll absolutely agree with that. I think that the problem is that, like, for someone like me who I've always been up and down with weight, right? So I can kind of relate why some people struggle with it. A lot of it, I'll just completely. I think I've said this probably in the past, but like I played hockey my whole life, right? And then when I stopped playing hockey as frequently as I did, because before I used to just eat like shit. I'll just be blunt. Like I ate whatever. It didn't matter. I would just burn it off. But then you realize, like, as you get older, it's like, oh man, I'm gaining some more weight here. And oh shit, I'm packing on the pounds. And it's because you don't realize how much energy I was using beforehand and how much, younger, maybe a higher metabolism and just like the way the lifestyle. So I don't, like there's been lows. I've gotten back down to the 170s, 180s. But then I'll go up, so I'll be around 210 or something like that. And it's like, it's constant ups and downs. So I understand when people struggle with it, but let's just be honest.
Absolutely.
It's not healthy, right? I don't like being unhealthy, but I think just looking yourself in the mirror and realizing, you're going to have moments, I think, where you fall back and you got to really, it's hard. It is hard to do this, but you got to try to make it a life change. You can't just do it a diet, right? Like people will go on these crash diets, they'll start fasting and stuff like that. Because I did that shit once. I did the fasting thing. I lost weight really, really, really quick, but then I just packed it on just as fast back. Right?
Yep.
Because it's not a sustainable type lifestyle.
No, actually, it sets you backwards. And people don't understand that. But what we're at, and let me just explain that real quick for the uninitiated. When you go on starvation diets, the number on the scale does change downward, but a fair percentage of the weight that you lose is non-adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is fat tissue, okay? When you're losing lean mass that has a calorie cost, when you go back to your old eating habits, you have less lean mass to burn off what you're taking in. So since your overall basal metabolic rate also drops, the rate at which you burn calories at rest, since that drops, when you go back to your old way of eating, you're going to pack on the pounds even faster because you don't have the lean mass to counter the food that you went back to eating because you got happy with the weight loss that you saw on the scale.
But just lazy as fuck. But yeah, no, back to the point is that, like, hey, a little bit of shame, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And so
but we're trying to remove all shame. And where I will agree with you and traditionalists is that when you go to either extreme, you're in danger.
Exactly.
Extremes are bad.
Well,
okay.
So speaking of extremes,
unless you're getting that extreme sloppy toppy, you know what I'm saying?
So
requires a little bit of a little bit of cleanup after, but you know.
Speaking of extreme sloppy toppy or overreaching, you want to talk about a certain guy, Jack Murphy, or you want to kind of go?
All right, so you know what? We're gonna let you give the introduction to the whole Jack Murphy thing. Why don't you go ahead and kind of give your synopsis, and then I'll go and I'll give whatever I understand it to be, and then we'll go to the video clip.
So, for you that don't know who Jack Murphy is, he's essentially kind of like a conservative, red pill, like alpha male type guy. Gives advice on how to be a true man, and like, there's a lot of viral clips. You can go look him up and do far better justice than what I'm going to say here. He was on a podcast or a show, Sydney Watson's show, and just a paid comment came up. What's that called? A super chat came up about a cuckold article that he wrote a few years ago. And instead of staying within his masculine frame, first time he got a little aggravated, say, hey, I don't want to talk about it. It's not even what the fuck people think about it. And then the second time, another super chat came up. And I guess in this show, and I did look into a little bit, it is true, they'll read every single super chat, regardless of how heinous some of the shit said, which we can have a whole different discussion on. And essentially, he freaked the fuck out, saying, like, you know, fuck you, you're a piece of shit for that. And says, like, and fuck you, heartfelt. Like, he was very butthurt about the situation. And, you know, maybe that was kind of a foreshadowing of how butthurt we truly found out he would get. But it turns out Jack Murphy wasn't necessarily living the life that he proclaimed he did. So, that my synopsis of a man that's overreacting kind of got, like, you know, exposed on a podcast for a past article, and then some adult entertainment videos came out, you know, with Jack Murphy in them. I haven't watched them. I've just heard that it's a bunch of sword fighting, so it's very very interesting how this big old alpha male red pill guy, all about masculine frame, all about like staying very manly, and like, I always kind of thought there was a little bit of kind of show on there because it was kind of like overcompensation in a way. But very, very funny for a guy like that. Found out he's doing certain films with other guys in rooms, and you know, and a bunch of fluid going, you know, not, you know, inside of him. So that's my synopsis of this whole story. A bunch of tomfoolery and swordplay, abundance going on.
Well,
I'm trying to keep this PG, man. Like, God.
Well, what you're saying is his cinnamon buns were getting glazed. Okay, so I'm gonna give my take for what I know about it. This guy wrote an article in the past claiming that, you know, he was not in his proper masculine frame. He was in a relationship with a woman, and then he got into a relationship with a different woman, and then he was sending her out there to get her back blown out, and for her to also get, you know, 1.5 teaspoon protein shots down the gullet. Mm-hmm. And how that made him feel like he was in his proper, you know, masculine frame or whatever. And you know, when it came out that it was actually him, and he had already put himself out there as this, you know, super masculine guy that all men should want to be like, people called bullshit, and rightfully so, when you consider that a lot of people don't really understand BDSM, particularly the dominant submissive. They don't really understand that kind of dynamic, right? So for the way they see it, they're like, hey, everything that we know is if some other dude is smashing your chick, you a bitch. And you can't be trying to sell me on being an alpha if you know, you got other dudes slamming your chick. So very quickly, when people started to call him out, he had a choice to make. He could double down, or he could try to, shrink back from it and say, oh, ha, 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 I was just, kidding. And what I believe happened is that when he kind of pulled back on that a little bit, people were like, well, we smelled bitch, now we see bitch.
Yeah.
We don't really have a whole lot of respect for what you did, because if he would have just explained it in a way that made sense from the kink community standpoint, a lot of people probably would have said, you know what, that's not my cup of tea, but you do you.
Yeah.
But when he got hyper defensive about it, people say, oh, look, he is a cuck bitch, because there is a difference. Yeah. There is a difference between a person living a hot wife's cuck lifestyle and a stag. What is a stag? What do they call? Some sort of dogging thing where, you have the stag. Oh, the stag vixen lifestyle versus the hot wife cuck lifestyle. There is an actual definitive difference between the two. Yeah. On the cuckold hot wife thing, the wife is more attractive. She has more, she's elevated in status above the man because of her sexual attractiveness, and he is seen as less than because he is not in his masculine frame, or he has a small dick or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the other one, right, when you have the vixen stag, kind of thing going on, right? You have a guy who is like, listen, I'm the top dog here, right? I can do whatever I want, and as part of my authority, if I tell her to go suck that dick, she's going to go suck that dick. Now, those are two very different things if you actually dig into it. But most people are going to be like, especially men, like, no. Like, anybody touching my woman, unacceptable, not trying to hear that, right? But the thing is, he didn't even try to explain the difference between the two, right? He just, he froze deer in the headlights because he is a fake. Like some other guys that we know in the manosphere, you're trying to act like, and then you want to lead other men and tell other men how to lead their life. But in your actual life, the way that you're living it, you don't even believe in what you're doing, because you may have sent her out there to go get smashed, right? But when people called you out on it, you couldn't even stay in your masculine frame. You could not stand your ground for long enough to explain to people, like, I don't have men fucking my ladies. I don't have that, right? But I was able to explain his dynamic with that woman better than him. So, and I get where you're coming from. I like whatever, not to kink shame and stuff like this, but there's also other stuff. No, kink shame. Shaming is healthy. Here on the Talking Shit podcast, shaming is healthy. So, but like my thing is this: is that? Oh, one second. Shout out to traditionalist. He said, "Gotta go about to stuff my fat fuck face with some delicious home cooked paella my lady made, and I better enjoy it if I want some sloppy toppy dessert." Peace. Right. Hey man, get what you got to get, you know what I'm saying? But this is also a place for self-improvement. Like, we show love and respect to men here on this platform, but how do we show real love to our fellow man? Do we get our buns glazed? No. We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And if you need a little bit of prodding to start doing right by your body after you enjoy that delicious home cooked paella, right? We're going to be giving a lot of tips on things that you can do to improve your overall fitness and your overall quality of life. That's what we are here for. You're going to have to take a little bit of the chiding. You're going to have to take a little bit of that shame, but we have some actual useful things to bring on the back end of that if you don't check out too quick. So thank you for coming by. You are a valued member of our community. Continue, Captain. So what I'm going to say is this, is that there's also other things that came out from, Murphy's, like that article, other things about him being in adult films with other men and stuff like that. You and I, we talked about this in the back channels.
Each their own, bro, I guess, right, bro? But like, listen, like you can't go on about being alpha and how you actually had to like, oh, I wouldn't let anyone see my butt. And when meanwhile, fucking Ted over there is bending you over and splitting your wig. Like it's just, it's one of the things for me is I think it's an act. Personally, I've always seen it as an act. If you are getting like 3-4 guys, I don't have like whatever the amount, right?
He took his big apple, told him to turn over,
splitting them. You can't say that you're an alpha male, bro. What?
Bo, he took his apple, told him to turn over, and then glazed him like a toaster strudel.
My man has that beard hair, so when they're fucking him from the back, they have reins to pull him on and just keep going. Yo, bro, like I'm just saying, man, to each their own. I don't care. It's 2022. God bless America. You do you, boo. But I'm just saying, don't try to come off as this hyper straight, hyper masculine male when, Frank from accounting is bending you over and fucking you roughly from behind. Calling like, I don't give a shit. I don't. And listen, I don't care what you're into. You straight. You gay.
And you could be a masculine gay guy. You can be.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I see them every day in the gym. All right.
But don't give off this fake persona of you being in your frame where I'm like, bro, like apparently, and I'm not gonna go down that road because I'm not into it. But apparently there's videos of him on his back taking like dick. So to me, listen, whatever. Each their own. And you know what? This gets to a greater discussion.
You have the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Like Aaron Hernandez, he went in as a tight end, went out as a wide receiver in life. So this is the thing, bro. Like this goes into a greater conversation for me. Is that I'm gonna go into another topic, right? with porn people, right? Like, so there's
no, we're gonna go there in a second, but before oh my God, before we go there,
go deep.
Yeah,
let's show the clip.
We've already been told that this show's been hard to get advertisers on.
Yes.
Get out of town.
That is why the super chats mean a lot to us.
Now look at his face. Wait. Look at how he's kind of leaned back, right?
Yep.
Right? He's looking all comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at how his body language changes over time, right? He's looking like a cross between Kris Kringle and Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Advertisers
supporting us.
Thank you.
Because you guys are the advertisers. That's why we try to get through all of these and read all your
All right,
comments.
I got a few
Even
more.
if you're trapping me. No, I want to read this one first. Because I started it. I'm going to finish what I started. Anamorphosis says, Elijah, and I apologize for this in advance, Jack. Asked
boy.
Murphy about the article he wrote about literally cuckolding his wife. I wish I was joking. True alpha.
Wow.
True.
Wow, you went there with that. I have absolutely no comment on that other than to say that whatever people's perception is about that, it's 180 degrees wrong. And
and the thing is, here, I gotta. Isn't this exactly what the fuck I said?
Yeah.
It's exactly what the fuck I said.
Yep.
And I was able to explain in plain English the difference between hot wife cuckold and vixen stag. Okay? Same typical action, but with a completely different angle to it. In one of these situations, the woman is dominant over the man, but submissive to other men. Yeah. And in the other situation, the man is dominant over the woman, and then to further stamp her worthlessness within the context of BDSM,
Yep.
he also has other men, because we already know that a lock that opens by many keys is a shitty lock.
Yep.
He wants to prove her worthlessness as a lock by basically saying no matter what you stick in there, a penny, a quarter, a key, a paperclip, A piece of paper is going to turn that key and is going to turn that lock and it's going to open regardless.
Yeah.
To further show his dominance over her. Now, he could have explained that. He could have done that. But instead of doing that, he takes this approach.
Has nothing to do with people think what they're thinking it to be today.
Are we talking about sex right now?
Do you know what cuckolding is?
I totally thought
It's
they were
where
reading...
you get a chicken and you hold it and you
No,
love it.
I just blanked
and
out
then
for a second.
You make more chickens.
What?
Blanked out for a second. We
I
don't
have
kink
chickens.
shame.
I like chickens.
If you have a hen house, that's great. That's you should have your own eggs. Great.
We don't
supply-
kink shame.
Great for protein.
You are here does not kink shame. I want to bring that out that we do not kink shame. If you don't want to have, if you hate women, don't want to have any sex at all, that's your lifestyle. Or if you're a nude model, that's your lifestyle.
You can in fact be you can be both at the same time.
Or if you want to sleep with trans Elijah, Ellie Schaefer.
Literally,
if you want to breed
if you want to have sex with my ankles, maybe Kez might allow it.
Brian Schultz says Merry Christmas and Happy first.
It's true. Brett Ain't Dad said, unfortunately, the proliferation of technology leads to authoritarian collectivism. Future looks gay. Merry Christmas, Sid and Jack and Elijah.
Mr. Dick and Balls says, "Hey Jack."
See, that's what she does.
You said
She
Mr.
does
Dick
this.
and Balls.
Like she reads it like that's normal. Like it's not even. She's not even saying, "I'm not gonna skip the name." She just goes, "Mr. Dick and Balls said."
Could you please clear up the cuck article you wrote?
I am not going to talk about
Again?
this.
Okay.
And basically, you know what? Fuck you for
Me.
bringing.
Look, lost masculine frame. But I'm supposed to think that you're some sort of, wow, I'm so masculine. He lost control here. Look at his eyes.
Yeah, he's like pissed. He's
Right?
pissed. Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, it was already explained who provides the funding for the Blaze, because the Blaze says a lot of things that a lot of people don't agree with. So they're not going to get a lot of advertisers because just, without even examining their position or why they hold the position, they're marked as hate, right? That means advertisers are not really going to pay to have their products hawked on that platform, even if there are well-heeled customers that they could get from hawking their product there. I don't understand how people are shaming these companies for advertising everywhere to get paid, right? I think that's really dumb, because why do you care about where other people advertise if you're not over there with that content?
Yeah.
But whatever. So you have to read the super chats, because you have to show the respect. And she already mentioned this. You have to show the respect to the people who are funding the Blaze.
Yeah.
So and they already said, no matter what is being said, they are going to read the super chat, right?
Right.
So what does he do? Not only does he lose masculine frame, but then he directs his venom towards her as if she wrote it,
Yeah.
right? Like, dude, you lost.
Bringing this up right here and right now.
Me.
Why are you doing this to me?
I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was.
What is more feminine? What is a more feminine response than that? What is a more what is a more feminine response than "Why are you doing this to me"?
I think that Sydney Watson's more of a man than him, but that's just my opinion. Like, honestly, because
Nah, she's too hot.
no, but you know what I'm saying. What I'm
And
saying,
I'm pretty sure she could take that man meat a little bit better between the cheeks than this guy. It looks better. It's more appealing. I'd rather watch that.
But what I'm saying is that's how feminine he's being right now. Like, she's being like kind of relatively calm, and we can get to just keep rolling the clip. Actually, there's something.
And the thing is, and here's another thing you guys have to realize. Look at her body language, right? Look at her body language. And I heard a woman say this very recently, a black woman on another platform say this, that when they sense weakness in men, it was a Middle Eastern woman on the Lapeef Network. Shout out to the Lapeef Network. I love what they do over there. They had a Middle Eastern woman that basically likened women to being like cats, right? Mm-hmm. And the minute that they sense any weakness, they pounce, right? Look at the look on this woman's face right here, right?
Yeah.
She picked up on his weakness and she's excited. Look at the look on her face, right? Now, she's not gonna, continue, she's not gonna, she's trying to hide the fact that this has now become extremely amusing to her. Not because people keep going in on him because he keeps, going in on him because of the article that he wrote. She is loving the reaction. She doesn't want to show too much because that will show him up. And then if he goes across the room and punches her in the face, she don't want that. But it's clear to me that she's enjoying this reaction because she sensed weakness in this man.
Well, just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
Sorry, apologies.
Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
Elizabeth Harrison says, gonna miss the show, but have a good break. IHTAC, what's that?
He choked on his bitch assness. I'm sorry. That shit is hilarious to me. Like, everybody in the room has recognized him as you kind of put it, the least masculine being in the room.
Yeah. It's one of those things though, like with the that male co-host, is you think he should have been like, hey dude, like calm down, or just let it keep playing like he did?
I just let him show the world who he truly is. Like I mean, the dude almost choked laughing.
Yeah.
He wasn't laughing at what the woman said.
Yeah.
He kind of let it sink in what he just saw. And he's like, uh-oh. I think we just found this guy who just pulled his skirt up.
Yeah.
This guy, I literally was just coughing. It's just an inconvenient cough.
Noah Fox says, Sydney,
Said an inconvenient cough. I think he almost said an inconvenient cuck.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to say. Yeah. Oh, my God.
very much. Try to think says, YG, just buy a damn house already. And
See? Loss of masculine frame.